Hi everyone.
Yeah, Dhruva, good. Pratima ji, your audio video check. Pratima?
Can you hear me?
Absolutely, God of Seasons, we can. And we can see two Shavleens here. We want, I think, the bonus first today.
You're on mute, dear. Can you try and unmute
Is
it?
that
Oh, there's echo. You'll have to log in through one device, log out through one device. Yeah, now that would be good. Can you hear us?
Yes.
All fine?
hello?
Yes, perfect.
Am I audible?
Perfect, perfect.
Hello everyone. I'm so sorry for the background, but that's how I can manage.
We understand, dear. Don't worry. I understand. No
No
problem. No
worries.
problem. No worries.
The villager has shared a photo in Hydra group. Very nice, lungi and all, but he has a laptop. 16 core 8 GB laptop is here. काय का villager है ये?
Hey, that is because Chitra is ruling. Our village becomes advanced with Chitra's rule.
Yeah, correct. Actually. Yes.
So before we get Singh, Mahesh, Mridul, Nikita, Suman, Nalini Garu, Prinika, Richu, Aishu, and Aditi. Welcome all to today's session, and I will uh, uh, just wait for a couple of minutes for 5:10. It's 5:07 now, and then what we're going to do is I'll just give my 1 2 minutes bites about Hydra. You'll have to bear with me for those 2 minutes and about this session, and then we'll get started with today's play. So. Uh, all right. So it's a, I don't know how across India it is, but here in Hyderabad, been drizzling and what do you say? Don't feel like going outside at all, and which is very good setting for the play called Chitra. It has everything: kingdoms, hereditary, romance, love, the angst for perpetuating your own khandan, then the angst for the, the angst for being in love and to think that love is only related to physical beauty, not the um, personal, what do you say, characteristics or skills of a person, man, woman, anybody, and then the warrior the warrior finds beauty in a fellow warrior, not in the physical beauty. And first time we did not understand this play completely, but when we rehearsed it for first we all read it outside, then when we rehearsed it, then the beauty of the play kind of grew upon us. The how Gurudev conveys various things, just dialogue, that 1 year has passed, or some just through dialogue, how you can convey that there is an enemy army attacking his kingdom, the expression of a woman's interior feelings, how she feels about a man, though she never cared about physical beauty all her childhood and adolescence, grew up as a boy, and then happens after that. So it's 5:10. Some people have joined just now as I was talking. So welcome to you all. I didn't see the name. Parvati Devi is here. I think I already invited Pulwan Singh. Lavanya has also joined. Good evening, Lavanya. Welcome. And if I've forgotten anybody else, I think that's pretty much who have joined. All right. So 5:10. Let's get started. My first couple of minutes bite is about Hydra. Hydra stands for Hyderabad Readers and Writers, a club we founded in 2018 as a platform to connect readers and writers. And 3 years in existence, we have uh, got up, walked, and now are kind of in a thriving mode. Our format is every month, last Sunday, we have a meetup without fail, in which we connect both readers and writers and discuss book of the month or books of the month, and also discuss what are the books we have individually read. We just talk about books. Initially, we had after the book discussion another extra round for quizzing, literature quiz or flash fiction, but the book discussions are so lively, engrossing that it goes up to 2 3 hours, and sometimes we have to cut off without completing the discussion also. So uh, the monthly meetup is entirely now books discussion. First 1 hour is the books of the month. Next 1.5 hour about what each member has read on their own individual lists. Apart from that, we also have special events like this. These are not on the last Sunday, mostly on the second Sunday, but many a time, first or third also, depending on the convenience. And those are primarily book reading sessions, guest lectures on books from outside of Hydra people, professors or writers from outside, like P. Jyoti Garu, Rima Gupta is a professor. They are all writers. And this year we started a lot of initiatives. Hydrozine is a quarterly e magazine that is this 2021 initiative, and the second 2020 initiatives have to this reading of plays, which Neena told me it's not exactly play reading, it's an online theater. And we don't have to be professional actors. We are readers. We just read and understand the story, we analyze it. What are the themes? It helps us to understand how great writers write, uh, and enjoy their writing and communication through play reading. Uh, the writers also get good ideas when they hear this plays. So every quarter, second month, second Sunday is dedicated to play reading. So this is the third one. We started in Q2 with the park. Q3 we had the refund, and Q4 second month November, and today is the uh, third Sunday actually. This was scheduled to be last Sunday, 14th, but there was a couple of hiccups, couple of readers were not available, so we decided to postpone to today, 21st. So on the posters and all, you'll see the date 14th, but the actual event is today, the 21st. So with that background, the third time we are doing this online theatre play, and what a befitting end to this year with none other than the great uh, Rabindranath Tagore's play Chitra. So, with that introduction, we'll set the ball rolling. I will be the narrator as well as Lord Madana, the god of love. Totally, misaligned, misaligned role and person, character and actor. The protagonist, the main role, Arjuna, not the main role, sorry. The male role, Arjuna, is by Raviteja. Raviteja is consistently playing the protagonist role in all the three plays so far, including this one. Chitra, there is a warrior Chitra and there is a damsel, beautiful damsel Chitra. The warrior Chitra is Neena George Kunnat. The um, the the damsel, the beautiful Chitra, is Shavleen Kaur, a member of AIFEST, introduced to us by Neena. Then the god of seasons is Vasanta, and that is our member Pratima Jayadev. And as usual, whenever you want somebody to be an assistant, Dhruva is always there. So in the park, in the refund, maybe, and now today he's playing the brief role of a villager who gets upset because there is no one to protect them from a foreign attack. With that, we will get started. So the readers, you have a copy ready, um, and we'll not have any break. We'll continue. We'll read it in one stretch. It's a one act play, and then after the play is over, we'll open up for the audience for their feedback and what they felt about the story, maybe also about how the reading went on, and so on. And I'm sure all the accolades will be there for Ravi and Neena. So, all right.
Special thanks to Shavleen for joining us despite having a very emergency family trip. Family trip. Thank you so much, dear. So sweet of you. She could have just. It's a difficult situation, but then she joined. Thank you, dear. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Can begin.
My pleasure, ma'am.
I knew there was a issue, but I don't know the details, Shavleen. God bless you. Everything will be okay. Okay. So here we go. If you guys can give me a minute, uh, Chitra, one also the recorder for today. Are you set with the recording?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's being on record.
All right. All right. Let me check. Give me a minute. I'll go on audio.
Lord of Love is missing, and he joined back.
Okay, I got a thumbs up from recording two also. My daughter. All right. So give me just one more minute so that I can get the styling proper. So that we can, if somebody has messages and all. So change layout, tiled to about 48 people. So we'll never go. And then the message pan. Good evening. Chitra, a play in one act by Rabindranath Tagore. This lyrical drama was written about 25 years ago. It is based on the following story from the Mahabharata. In the course of his wanderings, in fulfillment of a vow of penance, Arjuna came to Manipur. There he saw Chitrangada, the beautiful daughter of Chitravahana, the king of the country. Smitten with her charms, he asked the king for the hand of his daughter in marriage. Chitravana asked him who he was, and learning that he was Arjuna the Pandava, told him that Prabhanjana, one of his ancestors in the kingly line of Manipur, had long been childless. In order to obtain an heir, he performed severe penances. Pleased with these austerities, the god Shiva gave him this boon, that he and his successors should each have one child. It so happened that the promised child had invariably been a son. He, Chitravahana, was the first to have only a daughter, Chitrangada, to perpetuate the race. He had therefore always treated her as a son and had made her his heir. The king said, "The one son that will be born to her must be the perpetuator of my race. That son will be the price that I shall demand for this marriage. You can take her if you like on this condition." Arjuna promised. He took Chitrangada to his wife and lived in her father's capital for 3 years. When a son was born to them, he embraced her with affection and took leave of her and father, set out again in his travels. Scene 1.
Art thou the god of the five darts, the lord of love?
I am he who was the firstborn in the heart of the Creator. I bind in bonds of pain and bliss the lives of men and women.
I know. I know what that pain is, and those bonds. And who art thou, my lord?
I am his friend Vasanta, the king of the seasons. Death and decrepitude would wear the world to the bone, but that I follow them and constantly attack them. I'm eternal youth.
I bow to thee, Lord Vasanta.
But what stern vow is thine, fair stranger? Why dost thou withhold thy fresh youth with penance and mortification? Such a sacrifice is not fit for the worship of love. Who art thou? What is thy prayer?
I am Chitra, the daughter of the kingly house of Manipur. With godlike grace, Lord Shiva promised to my royal grandsire an unbroken line of male descent. Nevertheless, the divine word proved powerless to change the spark of life in my mother's womb. So invincible was my nature, woman though I be.
I know. That is why thy father brings thee up as his son. He has taught thee the use of the bow and all the duties of a king.
Yes, that is why I'm dressed in man's attire and have left the seclusion of a woman's chamber. I know no feminine wiles for winning hearts. My hands are strong to bend the bow, but I have never learned Cupid's archery, the play of eyes.
That requires no schooling, fair one. The eye does its work untaught, and he knows how well who is struck in the heart.
One day, in search of game, I roved alone into the forest on the bank of the Purna River. Tying my horse to a tree trunk, I entered a dense thicket on the track of a deer. I found a narrow, sinuous path meandering through the dusk of the entangled boughs. The foliage vibrated with the chirping of crickets. When of a sudden, I came upon a man lying on a bed of dried leaves across my path. I asked him hotly to move aside, but he heeded not. Then, with the sharp end of my bow, I pricked him in contempt. Instantly, he leapt up with straight, tall limbs, like a sudden tongue of fire from a heap of ashes. An amused smile flickered round the corners of his mouth. Perhaps at the sight of my boyish countenance. Then, for the first time in my life, I felt myself a woman and knew that a man was before me.
At this auspicious hour, I teach the man and the woman this supreme lesson to know themselves. What happened after that?
With fear and wonder, I asked him, "Who are you?" "I am Arjuna," he said, "of the great Kuru clan." I stood petrified like a statue and forgot to do him obeisance. Was this indeed Arjuna, the one great idol of my dreams? Yes, I had long ago heard how he had vowed a 12-year celibacy. Many a day, my young ambition had spurred me on the break of my lance with him, to challenge him in disguise to single combat and prove my skill in arms against him. Ha, foolish heart, whither fled thy presumption? Could I but exchange my youth with all its aspirations for the clod of earth under his feet, I should deem it a most precious grace. I know not in what whirlpool of thought I was lost when suddenly I saw him vanish through the trees. O foolish woman, neither didst thou greet him, nor speak a word, nor beg forgiveness, but stood like a barbarian boor while he contemptuously walked away. Next morning, I laid aside my man's clothing. I donned bracelets, anklets, waist chain, and a gown of purple red silk. The unaccused dress clung about my shrinking shame. But I hastened on my quest and found Arjuna in the forest temple of Shiva.
Tell me the story to the end. I am the hard-born god, and I understand the mystery of these impulses.
Only vaguely can I remember what things I said and what answer I got. Do not ask me to tell you all. Shame fell on me like a thunderbolt, yet not break me into pieces so utterly hard, so like a man I am. His last words as I walked home pricked my ears like red hot needles. I have taken the vow of celibacy. I'm not fit to be thy husband. Oh, the woe of a man. Surely thou knowest, thou God of love, that unnumbered saints and sages have surrendered the merits of their lifelong penance at the feet of a woman. I broke my bow into two and burnt my arrows in fire. I hate my strong lit arm, scored by drawing the bowstring. O love, God love, thou hast laid low in the dust of vain pride, of my manlike strength, and all my man's training lies crushed under thy feet. Now teach me thy lessons. Give me the power of the weak, the weapon of the unarmed hand.
I will be thy friend. I will bring the world conquering Arjuna a captive before thee to accept his rebellion sentence at thy hand.
Had I but the time needed, I could win his heart by slow degrees and ask no help of the gods. I would stand by his side as a comrade, drive the fierce horses of his war chariot, attend him in the pleasures of chase, keep guard at night at the entrance of his tent, and help him in all the great duties of a Kshatriya, rescuing the weak and meting out justice where it is due. Surely at last the day would come for him to look at me and wonder, what boy is this? Has one of my slaves in a former life followed me like my good deeds into this? I am not the woman who nourishes her despair in lonely silence, feeding it with nightly tears and covering it with daily patient smile, a widow from her birth. The flower of my desire shall never drop into the dust before it has ripened to fruit. But it is a labor of a lifetime to make one's true self known and honored. Therefore, I have come to thy door, thou world vanquishing love, and thou, Vasanta, youthful lord of the seasons, take from my young body this primal injustice and unattractive plainness. For a single day, make me superbly beautiful, even as beautiful as was a sudden blooming of love in my heart. Give me but one brief day of perfect beauty, and I will answer for the days that follow.
Lady, I grant thy prayer.
Not for the short span of a day, but for one whole year. The charm of spring blossoms shall nestle around thy limbs.
Scene 2.
Was I dreaming? Or was what I saw by the lake truly there? Sitting on the mossy turf I mused over bygone years, in this sloping shadow of the evening, when slowly there came out from the folding darkness of foliage an apparition of beauty in the perfect form of a woman, and stood on a white slab of stone at the water's brink. It seemed that the heart of the earth must heave in joy under her bare white feet. Methought the vague wailing of her body should melt in ecstasy into air as the golden mist of dawn melts off the snowy peak of the eastern hill. She bowed herself above the shining mirror of the lake and saw the reflection of her face. She started up in awe and stood still, then smiled, and with a careless sweep of her left arm, she unloosened her hair and let it trail on the earth at her feet. She bared her bosom and looked at her arms, so flawlessly modeled and instinct with an exquisite caress. Bending her head, she saw the sweet blossoming of her youth and the tender bloom and blush of her skin. She beamed with a glad surprise. So, if the white lotus bud on opening her eyes in the morning were to arch her neck and see her shadow in the water, would she wonder at herself the livelong day? But a moment after, the smile passed from her face and a shade of sadness crept into her eyes. She bound up her tresses, drew her veil over her arms, and sighed slowly, walking away like a beauteous evening fading into night. To me, the supreme fulfillment of desire seemed to have been revealed in the flesh, and then to have vanished. But who is this precious door?
Enter Chitra, dressed as a woman.
Ah, it is she. Quiet my heart. Fear me not, lady. I'm a Kshatriya.
Honored sir, you are my guest. I live in this temple. I know not in what way I can show you hospitality.
Fair lady, the very sight of you is indeed the highest hospitality. If you will not take it amiss, I would ask you a question.
You have permission.
What stern vow keeps you immured in this solitary temple, depriving all mortals of a vision of so much loveliness?
I harbor a secret desire in my heart, for the fulfillment of which I offer daily prayers to Lord Shiva.
Alas, what can you desire? You, who are the desire of the whole world. From the easternmost hill on whose summit the morning sun first prints his fairy foot to the end of the sunset land, have I traveled. I have seen whatever is most precious, beautiful, and great on this earth. My knowledge shall be yours, only say for what or for whom you seek.
He whom I seek is known to all.
Indeed, who may this favorite of gods be, whose fame has captured your heart?
Sprung from the highest of all royal houses, the greatest of all heroes is he.
Lady, offer not such wealthy of beauty as is yours off on the altar of false reputation. Spurious fame spreads from tongue to tongue like the fog of the early dawn before the sun rises. Tell me who in the highest of kingly lines is the supreme hero?
Hermit, you are jealous of other men's fame. Do you not know that all over the world the royal house of the Kurus is the most famous?
The house of the Kurus?
And have you never heard of the greatest name of that far famed house?
From your own lips, let me hear it.
Arjuna, the conqueror of the world. I have culled from the mouths of the multitude that imperishable name and hidden it with care in my maiden heart. Hermit, why do you look perturbed? Has that name only a deceitful glitter? Say so, and I will not hesitate to break the this casket of my heart and throw the false gem to the dust.
By his name and fame, his bravery and prowess falls are true. For mercy's sake, do not banish him from your heart, for he kneels at your feet even now.
You, Arjuna?
Yes, I am he, the love hungered guest at your door.
Then it is not true that Arjuna has taken a vow of chastity for 12 long years?
But you have dissolved my woe, even as the moon dissolves the night's woe of obscurity.
Oh, shame upon you! What have you seen in me that makes you false to yourself? Whom do you seek in these dark eyes, in these milk white arms? If you are ready to pay for her the price of your property, not my true self, I know. Surely this cannot be love. This is not man's highest homage to woman. Alas, that this frail disguise, the body, should make one blind to the light of the deathless spirit. Yes, now indeed I know, Arjuna, the fame of your heroic manhood is false.
Ah, I feel how vain is fame, the pride of prowess. Everything seems to be a dream. You alone are perfect. You are the wealth of the world, the end of all poverty, the goal of all efforts, the one woman. Others, there are who can be but slowly known, while to see you for a moment is to see perfect completeness once and forever.
Alas, it is not I, Arjuna, it is the deceit of a god. Go, go, my hero, go. Woo not falsehood, offer not your great heart to an illusion. Go.
Scene 3.
No, impossible. To face that fervent gaze that almost grasps you like clutching hands of the hungry spirit within, to feel his heart struggling to break its bonds, urging its passionate cry through the entire body, and then to send him away like a beggar? No, impossible.
Enter Madana and Vasanta.
Ah, God of love, what fearful flame is this with which thou hast enveloped me? I burn and I burn whatever I touch.
I desire to know what happened last night.
At evening, I lay down on a grassy bed strewn with the petals of spring flowers and recollected the wonderful praise of my beauty. I had heard from Arjuna, drinking drop by drop the honey that I had stored during the long day, the history of my past life, my former existence was forgotten. I felt like a flower which has but a few fleeting hours to listen to all the humming flatteries and whispered murmurs of the woodlands, and then must lower its eyes from the sky, bend its head, and at a breath give itself up to the dust without a cry, thus ending the short story of a perfect moment that has neither past nor future.
A limitless life of glory can bloom and spend itself in a morning.
Like an endless meaning in the narrow span of a song.
The southern breeze caressed me to sleep. From the flowering Malti bower overhead, silent kisses dropped over my body, on my hair, on my breast, my feet. Each flower chose a bed to die on. I slept, and suddenly, in the depth of my sleep, I felt as if someone intense eager look, like tapering fingers of flame, touched my slumbering body. I started up and saw the hermit standing before me. The moon had moved to the west, peering through the leaves to espy this wonder of divine art, wrought in a fragile human frame. The air was heavy with perfume. The silence of the night was vocal with the chirping of crickets. The reflections of the trees hung motionless in the lake, and with his staff in his hand he stood, tall and straight and still, like a forest tree. It seemed to me that I had, on opening my eyes, died to all realities of life, and undergone a dream birth into a shadowland. Shame slipped to my feet like loosened clothes. I heard his call, beloved, my most beloved, and all my forgotten lives united as one and responded to it. I said, take me, take all I am, and I stretched out my arms to him. The moon set behind the tree. One curtain of darkness covered all. Heaven and earth, time and space, pleasure and pain, death and life merged together in an unbearable ecstasy. With the first gleam of light, the first twitter of birds, I rose up and sat leaning on my left arm. He lay asleep with a vague smile about his lips like the crescent moon in the morning. The rosy red glow of the dawn fell upon his noble forehead. I sighed and stood up. I drew together the leafy lianas to screen the streaming sun from his face. I looked about me and saw the same old earth. I remembered what I used to be and ran like a deer afraid of her own shadow through the forest path strewn with shafali flowers. I found a lonely nook and sitting down covered my face with both hands and tried to weep and cry, but no tears came to my eyes.
Alas, thou daughter of mortals, I stole from the divine storehouse the fragrant wine of heaven, filled with it one earthly night to the brim, and placed it in thy hand to drink. Still, still I hear this cry of anguish.
Who drank it? The rarest completion of life's desire, the first union of love, was proffered to me, but was wrested from my grasp. This borrowed beauty, this falsehood that enwraps me, will slip from me, taking with it the only monument of that sweet union. As the petal fall from an overblown flower, and the woman ashamed of her naked poverty will sit weeping day and night. Lord love, this cursed appearance companions me like a demon robbing me of all the prizes of love, all the kisses for which my heart is athirst.
Alas, how vain thy single night had been! The bark of joy came in sight, but the waves would not let it touch the shore.
Heaven came so close to my hand that I forgot for a moment that it had not reached me. But when I woke in the morning from my dream, I found that my body had become my own rival. It is my hateful task to take her every day, to send her to my beloved and see her caressed by him. O God, take back thy book.
But if I take it from you, how can you stand before your lover to snatch away the cup from his lips when he has scarcely drained his first draught of pleasure? Would not that be cruel? With what resentful anger he must regard thee then.
That would be better far than this. I will reveal my true self to him, a nobler thing than this disguise. If he rejects it, if he spurns me and breaks my heart, I will bear even that in silence.
Listen to my advice. When, with the advent of autumn, the flowering season is over, then comes the triumph of fruitage. A time will come of itself when the heat cloyed bloom of the body will droop, and Arjuna will gladly accept the abiding fruitful truth in thee. O child, go back to thy mad festival.
Scene 4.
Why do you watch me like that, my warrior?
I watch how you weave that garland. Skill and grace, the twin brother and sister, are dancing playfully on your fingertips. I'm watching and thinking.
What are you thinking, sir?
I'm thinking that you, with the same likeness of touch and sweetness, are weaving my days of exile into an immortal breath to crown me when I return home.
Home? But this love is not for a home.
Not for a home?
No, never talk of that. Take to your home what is abiding and strong. Leave the little wild flower where it was born. Leave it beautifully to die at the day's end among all fading blossoms and decaying leaves. Do not take it to your palace hall to fling it on the stony floor, which knows no pity for things that fade and are forgotten.
Is ours that kind of love?
Yes, no other. Why regret it? That which was meant for idle days should never outlive them. Joy turns into pain when the door by which it should depart is shut against it. Take it and keep it as long as it lasts. Let not the satiety of your evening claim more than the desire of your morning could earn. The day is done. Put this garland on. I'm tired. Take me in your arms, my love. Let all vain bickerings of discontent die away at the sweet meeting of our lips.
Hush! Listen, my beloved. The sound of prayer bells from the distant village temple steals upon the evening air across the silent trees.
Scene 5.
I cannot keep pace with thee, my friend. I'm tired. It is a hard task to keep alive the fire thou dost kindle. Sleep overtakes me. The fan drops from my hand, and cold ashes cover the glow of the fire. I start up again from my slumber and with all my might rescue the very flame. But this can go on no longer.
I know, thou art as fickle as a child. Ever restless is thy play in heaven and on earth. Things that thou for days buildest up, with endless detail, thou dost shatter in a moment without regret. But this work of ours is nearly finished. Pleasure winged days fly fast, and the year, almost at its end, swoons in rapturous bliss. Scene 6. Scene 6.
I woke in the morning and found that my dreams had dished the gem. I have no casket to enclose it, no crowns, no king's crown whereon to fix it, no chain from which to hang it, and yet have not the heart to throw it away. My Kshatriya's right arm, ideally occupied in holding it, forgets its duties.
Enter Chitra.
Tell me your thoughts, sir.
My mind is busy with thoughts of hunting today. See how the rain pours in torrents and fiercely beats upon the hillside. The dark shadow of the clouds hanging heavily over the forest, and the swollen stream, like reckless youth, overleaps all barriers with mocking laughter. On such rainy days, we five brothers would go to the Chitraka forest to chase wild beasts. Those are glad times. Our hearts danced to the drumbeat of rumbling clouds. The woods resounded with the screams of peacocks. Timid deer could not hear our approaching steps from the patter of rain and the noise of the waterfall. The leopards would leave their tracks on the wet earth, betraying their lives. Our sport over. Our sport over. We dared each other to swim across turbulent streams on our way back home. The restless spirit is on me. I long to go hunting.
First, run down the quarry you are now following. Are you quite certain that the enchanted deer you pursue must needs be caught? No, not yet. Like a dream, the wild creature eludes you when it seems most nearly yours. Look how the wind is chased by the mad rain that discharges 1,000 arrows after it. yet it goes freeze and unconquered. Over support is like that, my love. You give chase to the fleet footed spirit of beauty, aiming at her every dart you have in your hands. Yet this magic deer runs ever free and untouched.
My love, you have you no home where kind hearts are waiting for your return? A home which you once made sweet with your gentle service and whose light went out when you left it for this wilderness?
Why these questions? Are the hours of unthinking pleasure over? Do you not know that I am no more than what you see before you? For me, there is no vista beyond. The dew that hangs on the tip of a kintsuka petal has neither name nor destination. It offers no answer to any question. She whom you love is like that perfect bead of dew.
Has she no tie with this world? Can she be merely like a fragment of heaven dropped on the earth through the carelessness of a wanton god?
Yes,
Ah, that is why I always seem about to lose you. My heart is unsatisfied. My mind keeps no peace. Come closer to me, unattainable one. Surrender yourself to the bonds of name and home and parentage. Let my heart feel you on all sides and live with you in the peaceful security of love.
why this vain effort to catch and keep the tints of the clouds, the dance of the waves, the smell of the flowers?
Mistress mine, do not hope to pacify love with airy nothings. Give me something to clasp, something that can last longer than pleasure, that can endure even through suffering.
Hero mine, the year is not yet full, and you are tired already? No, I know that it is heaven's blessing that has made the flower's term of life short. Could this body of mine have drooped and died with the flowers of last spring, it surely would have died with honor. Yet its days are numbered, my love. Spare it not, press it dry of honey, for fear your beggar's heart came back to it again and again with unsated desire, like a thirsty bee when summer blossoms lie dead in the dust.
Scene 7. Tonight is thy last night.
The loveliness of your body will return tomorrow to the inexhaustible stores of the spring. The ruddy tint of thy lips, freed from the memory of Arjuna's kisses, will bud anew as a pair of fresh Ashoka leaves, and the soft white glow of thy skin will be born again in 100 fragrant jasmine flowers.
O God, grant me this my prayer. Tonight, in its last hour, let my beauty flash its brightest, like the final flicker of a dying flame.
Thou shalt have thy wish. Scene 8. Scene 8. The villagers. Who will protect us now?
Why? By what danger are you threatened?
The robbers are pouring from the northern hills like a mountain flood to devastate our village.
Have you in this kingdom no warden?
Princess Chitra was the terror of all evildoers. While she was in this happy land, we feared natural deaths but had no other fears. Now she has gone on a pilgrimage and none knows where to find her.
Is the warden of this country a woman?
Yes, she is our father and mother in one. Enter Chitra.
Why are you sitting all alone?
I'm trying to imagine what kind of a woman Princess Chitra may be. I hear so many stories of her from all sorts of men.
Ah, but she's not beautiful. She has no such lovely eyes as mine, dark as death. She can pierce any target she will, but not our hero's heart.
They say that in valor she's a man, and a woman in tenderness.
And indeed is her greatest misfortune when a woman is merely a woman, when she wins herself round and round men's heart with her smiles and sobs and services and caressing endearments, then she is happy. Of what use to her are learning and great achievements? Could you have been seen her only yesterday in the court of the Lord Shiva's temple by the forest path? You would have passed by without deigning to look at her. But have you grown so weary of woman's beauty that you seek in her for a man's strength? With green leaves, wet from the spray of the foaming waterfall, I have made over noonday bed in a cavern dark as night. There, the cool of the soft green mosses, thick on the black and dripping stone, kisses your eyes to sleep. Let me guide you thither.
Not today, beloved.
Why not today?
I have heard that a horde of robbers has neared the plains. Needs must I go and prepare my weapons to protect the frightened villagers.
You need have no fear for them. Before she started on her pilgrimage, Princess Chitra had set strong guards at all the frontier passes.
Yet permit me for a short while to set about a Kshatriya's work. With new glory will I ennoble this ideal arm and make of it a pillow more worthy of your head.
What if I refuse to let you go? If I keep you entwined in my arms? Would you rudely snatch yourself free and leave me? Go then, but you must know that the liana once but if not, then remember that the goddess of pleasure is fickle and waits for no man. Sit for a while, my lord. Tell me, what uneasy thoughts tease you? Who occupied your mind today? Is it Chitra?
Yes, it is, Chitra. I wonder in fulfillment of what she has gone on her pilgrimage. Of what could she stand in need?
Her needs? Why? What has she ever had? The unfortunate creature? Her very qualities are as prison walls, shutting her woman's heart in a bare cell. She is obscured, she is unfulfilled. Her womanly love must content itself dressed in rags. Beauty is denied her. She is like the spirit of a cheerless morning, sitting upon the stony mountain peak, all her light blotted out by dark clouds. Do not ask me of her life, it will never sound sweet to man's ear.
I am eager to learn all about her. I am like a traveler come to a strange city at midnight. Domes and towers and garden trees look vague and shadowed, and the dull moon of the sea comes fitfully through the silence of sleep. Wistfully, he waits for the morning to reveal to him all the strange wonders. Oh, tell me her story.
What more is there to tell?
I seem to see her in my mind's eye, riding on a white horse, proudly holding the reins in her left hand, and in her right a bow, and like the goddess of victory, dispensing glad hope all round her. Like a watchful lioness, she protects the litter and her tugs with a fierce love. Woman's arms, though borrowed with naught but unfettered strength and beautiful. My heart is restless, fair one, like a serpent reviving from his long winter's sleep. Come, let me let us both race on swift horses side by side, like twin orbs of light sweeping through space. Out from this slumberous prison of green gloom, this dank, dense cover of perfume, intoxication, choking breath.
Arjuna, tell me true. If now at once, by some magic, I could shake myself free from this voluptuous softness, this timid bloom of beauty, shrinking from the rude and healthy touch of the world, and fling it from my body like borrowed clothes, would you be able to bear it? If I stand up straight and strong with the strength of a daring heart, spurning the wiles and art of twinning weakness, if I hold my head high like a tall young mountain fir, no longer trailing in the dust like a liana, shall I then appeal to man's eye? No, no, you could not endure it. It is better that I should keep spread about me all the dainty playthings of fugitive youth and wait for you in patience. When it pleases you to return, I will smilingly pour out for you the wine of pleasure in the cup of this beauteous body. But when you are tired and satiated with this wine, you can go to work or play. And when I grow old, I will accept humbly and gratefully whatever corner is left for me. Would it please your heroic soul if the playmate of the night aspired to be the helpmeet of the day? If the left arm learned to share the burden of the proud right arm?
I never seem to know you right. You seem me like a goddess hidden within a golden image. I cannot touch you. I cannot pay you my dues in return for your priceless gifts. Thus, my love is incomplete. Sometimes, in this enigmatic depth of your sad look, in your playful words mocking at their own meaning, I gain glimpses of a being trying to rend and asunder the languorous grace of her body, to merge in a chaste fire of pain through a vaporous veil of smiles. Illusion is the first appearance of truth. She advances towards her lover in disguise, but a time comes when she throws off her ornaments and veils and stands clothed in naked dignity. I grope for this ultimate truth, that bare simplicity of truth. Why these tears, my love? Why cover your face with your hands? Have I pained you, my darling? Forget what I said. I will be content with the present. Let each separate moments of beauty come to me like a bird of mystery from its unseen nest in the dark bearing, a message of music. Let me forever sit with my hope on the brink of its realization and thus end my days.
Scene 9, Chitra and Arjuna. Chitra cloaked.
My lord, has the cup been drained to the last drop? Is this indeed the end? No. When all is done, something still remains. And that is my last sacrifice at your feet. I brought from the garden of heaven flowers of incomparable beauty with which to worship you, God of my heart. If the rites are over, if the flowers have faded, let me throw them out of this temple. Now, look at your worshipper with gracious eyes. I am not beautifully perfect as the flowers with which I worshipped. I have many flaws and blemishes. I'm a traveler in the great world path. My garments are dirty. My garments are so filthy, and my feet are bleeding with thorns. Where should I achieve flower beauty, the unsullied loveliness of a moment's life? The gift that I proudly bring you is the heart of a woman. Here have all plains and joy gathered, the hopes and fears and shames of a daughter of the dust. Here love springs up struggling toward immortal life. Herein lies an imperfection which yet is noble and grand. If the flower service is finished, my master, accept this as your servant for the days to come. I am Chitra, the king's daughter. Perhaps you will remember the day when a woman came to you in the temple of Shiva, her body loaded with ornaments and finery. That shameless woman came to court you as though she were a man. You rejected her. You did well. My lord, I am that woman. She was my disguise. Then, by the boons of gods, I obtained for a year the most radiant form that a mortal ever wore, and wearied my hero's heart with the burden of that decide. Most surely, I am not that woman. I am Chitra, no goddess to be worshipped, nor yet the object of common pity to be brushed aside like a moth with indifference. If you deign to keep me by your side in the path of danger and daring, if you allow me to share the great duties of your life, then you will know my true self. If your babe, my nourishing in my womb, be born a son, I shall myself teach him to be a second Arjuna and send him to you when the time comes, and then at last you will truly know me. Today, I can only offer you Chitra, the daughter of a king.
Beloved, my life is full.
And that's the end of this play. Okay, thank you so much. It was a nice one. Krishna Pani says in the chat. And take a breath, actors. We'll go over to the audience now for a quick open up the session for discussion, right? And then finally, we will have some feedback and some discussion from the actors themselves. So, who wants to say something first?
Hello, sir.
Hey,
Am I,
brother.
am I permitted to speak?
Oh, come on. You are forced to speak. You are obliged to speak, brother. If you can switch on your camera, we can see you also.
Yeah, sure, sure. Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
I don't know whether I'm visible or not. Sorry for the light thing.
You are. You are.
But let me tell you, those words are, those passionate dialogues. I don't know how to thank you for bringing this feast in front of us. That is wonderful. I have no words to say because all actors, they were really passionate. A delivery of dialogues. Oh my God, I have no words to explain. And the first thing I would like to say is that if the divinities in the play, the god Madana, god, a god of love, which obviously played by you, and also god of seasons, you truly look like gods. Your attire, especially Mahboob sir, your attire, it's wonderful. And one thing I have observed in this play is that uh, a piece of art, any artwork, will have a masculine and feminine part. And like yin and yang, uh, it should be. It's like a rule. Femininity and the masculinity should be there. And I have seen a beautiful thing of masculinity and femininity in this wonderful play. And I was thinking that you, God of Love, can make some move when Chitra was offering Arjuna. Arjuna was quite romantic. I thought so. I don't know. But altogether, I would say that. It was a feast indeed, and thank you, all the actors for this wonderful evening, and we are expecting more. Thank you.
Thank you, Mritul. Thank you so much. It
Thank
really
you
means
so
a lot.
much, Mridul, for the kind words. And um, we are not professional actors; we're just readers. And I'm also a backup for somebody else for this role,
Got
actually.
it. The villager was
Um,
lost. The villager in search of somewhere. Where are you, Dhruva? Okay, he's not here. But Sir caught on.
so, first of all, thanks so much to the solid support by Neena.
No, no, I
So
should
my
thank you all.
well,
I was making
no,
a
hold on,
lot of errors
hold
in
on,
the
hold on,
beginning.
hold on. When we set out to do the cast and rehearsal, I said, Neena, if nobody comes, if nobody volunteers, it's you and me. We will play all the roles, you and me only. Chitra, Madana, Vasanta, Arjuna, Chitra 2, Villager, everything. And both of us will have fun, okay? But then, Raviteja never says no. Shavleen uh, turned up, stepped up. Dhruva, of course, somehow he was missing today. Pratima always never says no again. And then we rehearsed twice, and I'm so glad that Mrudul could see some beauty of the play. I don't think we conveyed even 30% of what Gurudev tried to convey through his prose, and the scenic variation were from one scene, it's angst to love to war. It's so theme and emotion changing, and and express the words. If we could convey some part of it, and I think we could. Murdal, if you liked it, we're so glad. We are readers only, not actors, and so we did our best. Yeah. Okay. Who is?
And just on that note, we didn't intend to dress up like this. But then I was not getting the feeling of Chitra unless I dressed up. I was just reading it like casually. I'm like, what is that big deal? But I just tried it out with I think many help like Richu and Shavleen, and I was just discussing with the crew also. So when I dressed up, then I could get the feel of it. I mean, costume makes a difference. When you're dressing it up, and I could see that in Pratima and everybody for that matter. So that was the only thing for the costume. That was the only thing of adding costumes to this play reading, just to make it. Glad that you all loved it. Yeah.
Let's hear from Richu. Long time no see Alekhya. Guys, ladies say want to say something? Richu, Alekhya.
Yes, I would like to say something. I mean, more than the presentation of the play, I was focusing on the costumes. I mean, I was guessing like, where did Mebusa got his necklace? Is it your wives or daughters?
This thing is my wife's dupatta, and this is her pearl necklace.
And I was looking at the god of seasons and at the setting that flower necklace and all this stuff. I mean, I was really looking at those intricate details, and Arjuna too rocked with his read. It was a Tennari Raman setup, but still we could just pass it on for Arjuna. And well, Chitra the warrior was amazing. You really put in so much effort. You really blackened your face. I didn't expect that, but that everything was wonderful. And of course, Shavleen, as a Chitra, she acted out with her voice. I mean, oh my god, I was just caught in the mellifluousness of her voice. I was just more than yeah, the expressions was there, gestures was there, everything was there, but it was the sweetest voice for Chitra, and it was beautiful. Everything just came together so well. It was so wonderful. Just the villager was missing, and the god do that. That was a bit of a drawback, but still, it was wonderful.
Thank you, Richu. Alekhya, how are you?
Hi, Mahboob sir. I'm good. Good to
Come,
see you all after so long. And
switch on your camera. Let the new people see the old people. And next time you are going to play, okay?
yeah, sure, Mahboob sir.
The most gorgeous hydro member. Can't to. Yeah. Go ahead. What would you like to play today?
Yeah, it was really good, Mahboob sir. And the costumes, yeah, and you look like pretty beautiful. And Ravi, I have never seen him like this.
Right. Uh, how was the play
And
overall?
I like the way Chitra told her part. I felt that was like really good the way she expressed herself. And Shavleen, you are beautiful. And at the same time, the way you read the play out, like the way you said, it was really good. I liked it on the whole, all of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Alekia. And let's see who has stand up.
Aditi
So,
is outside, so she
uh,
has put in her comments over here. Um,
Yeah, Adit is here. Krishna is here.
Krishna.
Sir, Krishna Veni. Krishna Veni.
Yeah, first Aditi, then Krishna. Where is Aditi?
she said
Could you-
she's outside, so she can't speak on the mic, and she's put in her comments here.
Okay. Can you read them, please?
Yeah, amazing as always. Love both the Chitra, one valiant, and another like a flower. Arjuna was amazing again. Ravi nailed the character again. This is the third play I'm watching, and I'm amazed how the entire all this setup was going on so well. Madana and Vasanta both sounded like Lord and Goddess. There was depth in every character. Sorry, couldn't speak on the mic. I'm outside. Thank you. And bonus
Thank
points to
you.
costumes.
Thank you so much, Aditi, for the kind words. Please keep coming to our events also and encourage us. We will continue this play reading uh, going forward as readers. So, Krishna Fani and Mahesh.
Hi, this is Krishna.
Video
Krishna,
on.
if you
We
could
want to
switch on your
see
camera.
Krishna. Pani.
Actually, I don't have my laptop. I just have my microphone, so I'm able to speak through that. I don't have
Go
my
ahead.
camera. This is the first time I'm actually attending one such event, and Ravi just invited me over halfway through, I suppose, and it was beautiful, like the words and everything. Sorry if I'm not able to go through every bit of it because, like, this is all new, but this is super amazing, and yeah, lots of love to you all, and I hope you guys keep doing such events so people like me can learn more.
Thank you so much, Krishna Pani. In fact, Ravi showed your photo also other day in rehearsal. This is my friend. He is gonna not he's gonna come, but he mentioned you, buddy. And you look like Rabindranath Tagore actually.
Oh my, that's a flattering compliment.
And thank you for your kind words. And please do come for the next events also. It will be in February.
It'll be my pleasure.
You're welcome. Mahesh, who's Mahesh?
Mahesh. Anna, mic on jaye.
Everyone is super. He is standing in the chat. I guess he's not in a position to speak
Okay,
out.
okay,
Yeah, and
all right. Okay.
Nalini ma'am.
So let's go back. Let's go back to the hydro regulars. Nalli ma'am and Swapna. Nalli Garu and Swapna. Not Swapna. Sorry, Swapnil.
Swapnil.
And then Aishwarya. Nalli Garu, Aishwarya,
Yes.
Swapnil. Yeah.
My camera, I should hope you're able to hear me.
Yes, Nalli Garu, we can hear.
Camera is not working suddenly.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead. No problem. Yeah.
It was amazing. Truly. I was just mesmerized. I was just sitting continuously without getting up in between talks. It's too good. All of you have performed very well, and I'm just dying to see you all on the real stage, actually. Somewhere, maybe in Ravindra Bharati, we can meet.
That is very, very flattering.
I
We're
hope.
not.
Really,
We'll be.
I'm praying that the next play will be somewhere on the real stage.
Let's see, ma'am. Thank you
Really
so much.
enjoyed the whole. Everyone were good. They performed very well, and also it was just dialogues,
but you had brought out that theme very well through your actions and the way you delivered the dialogues. You had brought out the theme of that differences in the feelings and how they really felt and things like that. Whatever, of course, it's very difficult to bring out this kind of thing of Rabindranath Tagore's uh, play. But I think you people were really successful in doing
Yes, ma'am.
that.
Nalini,
Thank you.
especially
Thank you.
Shavleen had to portray not only beauty but also vulnerability. She's so
Exactly.
vulnerable like a leaf. What will Arjuna think when I'm no longer
Her
with you?
voice is
And
sweet,
yeah, and it came
sweet
perfectly
voice.
nice. She was not only sounding beautiful but very, very vulnerable. Very well done by Shavleen, actually.
Yes.
Right?
True, true.
Thank
Can't
you.
Thank
agree.
you. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you, Nalini garu.
Yeah,
So,
ma'am.
Aishwarya and
It
Swapna.
was an opportunity for me, but
One second, Shavleen. Aishwarya and Swapnil,
Shavleen,
you
I
want to
think
say
she
something? Then
has. Yeah, Shavleen, she has to travel. I guess, dear, take care, dear. It's okay if you want to log out. It's okay.
you're
We'll
going to
catch up.
drop.
I think that's what she was
Okay,
telling.
Shavleen, you're going to drop out. Okay, Shavleen, you want to say something before you drop out? Hello, Shavleen. All right. Swapnil, Aishwarya.
Yes, sir. I enjoyed it, sir. I mean, it's a different experience, that too virtually. So, yeah, and I think your costumes made it even more nice. Close to what we could get done virtually.
All thanks to Neena. She was coordinating behind. I told
Yeah.
Neena, just put a bandana and some. No, no, you need to have a tika. You need to show your white hair. You need to have a gold color sari draped around you. You need to have something else. Three things she told, and then at 3 o'clock I ran and I told my wife I want a golden color salary. You put tika on me. You have kumkum, and you have to show my white hair. We don't have kumkum, so this is lipstick actually.
And this is lip gloss.
And I don't,
Ravi
I
and
don't have,
Pratima, they did it on their own.
and we don't have a golden color saree, so this is a golden color dupatta. And इसके लिए कुछ lip balm बना के लगाया. So all Chitra design, I think he must have helped Ravi also behind the
No,
scenes.
no, no, no. Ravi on his own. I think his family members have held, and Pratima as beautiful. Pratima ma'am as beautiful. She did it on her own. It was
You
just
didn't know.
yeah, yeah. They did it on their own. Yeah.
Yes, I think, yeah, it was really interesting.
Hmm. All right. Thank you, Swapnil, for joining. Where is Aishwarya?
She has put a
Aishwarya.
message over here. Mamaya, you're glowing today. Glee read. Neena ka, you are fire. My Anna as usual beyond. Prati ma'am, love. A wonderful show.
Okay.
Fire,
I mean,
fire, fire. Everything for Anna.
I want to hear it from her. Where is she?
चली गई लगता है. Aishwarya, every time she'll say, "Mamaya, you look handsome, you look beautiful." I don't know. I mean, every time you say it, may not
She's
be
trying
correct.
to flatter you.
Yeah,
That's it.
But
And
he doesn't want to be called Mamaya. That's it.
no, I don't mind. Yeah, yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah.
So before we go to the crew cast, words from Lavanya.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed. It was really nice. I know you guys are all not professional actors, but somehow it did not hinder at all. It was nice to, yeah, and like everyone said, the costumes definitely made a difference. I think this play was hard to enact. I mean, I don't know. The language is mostly like old English and poetry, right? It's like a very lyrical lines. But I guess, yeah, I mean, you all did very nice. I mean, I enjoyed it. So I don't have much to say. I'm actually not feeling that well. So.
Please
However,
do
the
take.
play just kind of made a little difference in today. It was really boring day for me. Somehow, this lightened up. So thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank
love.
you.
Thank you, love.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lavanya.
Lord.
We'll share the PDF in the group so that you can read. No, we didn't want to purposely share the PDF because other people will be reading rather than listening and watching. So
Yeah, it's
and
actually
now
a 95-year-old act play.
So now we can read it and understand Rabindranath Tagore's depth in one act. Okay, thank you all. So now we will go back to the cast, starting with Arjuna. Ravi.
Thank you everyone for your time. I hope you all enjoyed our play, and it looks like I'm going to be the forever protagonist for Hydra. So,
Neena, even if Hydra becomes Hydra Productions and we make a film, no?
yeah. So rehearsals were a big help for this play, and as usual, Chitra rocked. Uh, Warrior Chitra and Princess Chitra, the damsel, is mesmerizing, breathtaking, in fact. And the God of Seasons, no words. And Mahboob sir, no words. Actually, it makes me, speak less because the play itself has a soul. That's what I felt. And how much or whatever I speak, it's not going to be adding to anything for this play. That beautiful this play is, and that beautiful that awesome Chitra character is. Basically, the lead character is Chitra, and Arjuna is just a backup. Arjuna is like a reason for Chitra to feel like a woman, like a lady. So I don't want to ruin this feeling of me that is running inside, because the more words that I try to add, it becomes. I mean, the more it fades away from my brain. I want to have it like this. I want to keep it alive in my memory. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Hydra, Mahboob sir, and everyone. So for now, Arjuna is signing off, and Ravi is coming.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Thank you so much. From Wasserkopf to, I don't forget, Park Me, what was your role? But then Arjuna, you always rock. And let me tell this, when we start discussion of play, the first name that Neena will take is R, and I know it's Ravigowritheja. So thank you. I mean, yeah, from Vasanta to Arjuna, I think it was a very different transition, but very well done. I think. Yeah. So, Pratima ji next. Pratima next. She doesn't want me to call Ji. Pratima, yes.
I think we pulled it off quite well, and yeah, the two rehearsals also worked, and nice to see everybody in costumes. It feels like, as Nalini ma'am said, being on stage, though we are in different places. Yeah, and thank you to all those who attended and gave us feedback. I would definitely love to continue doing this. And yeah, thank you, sir. I know whenever there's a message from you for a play, and I I enjoy being a part of it. Yeah.
Right. And Pratima, we are going to have a damn good one February because it's the month of the Valentine's Day. So
Yes,
let's do a better show.
definitely, definitely. Yeah.
And to take forward Nalligaru's suggestion, we can do live if we sit and read like this, not act.
Yes.
See, we are sitting in our houses and putting costume and reading. We
Yeah.
can do the same thing on stage, but to get up and play, remember without seeing, it requires 20 days, 10 days.
Right. More than a month. Yeah.
More than a month.
Yeah, yeah. That requires a lot of preparation and physical rehearsal and all.
And props, back.
Yeah. It's a different kind of.
Starts with the production house, actually. We'll have to call in a production house.
And cost and all. So I'll discuss with Neena and Pratima. Probably we can do a sit and read like this with some minimal acting, but costumes and
Yes.
right. And
Something
probably
like that
we can fly Neena to Hyderabad for a day or two. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
And
it
I'm
is
already
nice to see her.
okay. So Neena, for February already, Pratima and Ravi are there, so we have to go and find a play that fits it.
It's a huge task. It's a big task
Right.
for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So everybody has spoken, and the final word is to Chitra one.
Thank you. I was waiting for this. Not just because, I mean, yes, we have pulled it up. I would like the entire aim of actually having a play reading is to celebrate the scripts, also the beautiful scripts that they have written as we read, especially because I'm so proud to represent the kind of the ugly kind of Chitra because probably this notion keeps on going. You know, the beauty fame that is there. You have to be fair skinned. You have to be flawless without blemishes, and very well, very apt. I'm so glad that Mridul got the point that every one has, you know, yin and yang. Like every female would have something of a manly nature, a man would have a soft nature, and that has to be celebrated. So I was just as I was practicing. Thank you so much, Fatima and Mahboob and everybody, because I kept on flumbling about lot of words. I learned a lot of words through this. I should say those who are reading it, meandering. How many times I got that wrong, but yeah, finally I managed to pull it off at times, and a lot of new words that I learned, vocabulary, and the last in the first scene, her last dialogue, which it kind of struck me only today when I was reading it again and again. She did say that I can actually pull in Arjuna and I can prove him that I am the one for him, but it takes long years to prove my skill and who I'm the true I, and I wouldn't need any god, and you know, taking that path. So but she didn't want, like, probably she's very hastened. So I guess we should also, as not just as women, not it's not just for women, it's for men also. We should just portray ourselves as honest as we are to each other, and then I think world will be a better place to live in. The filters or the mask or whatever kind of, yes, to an extent, but we just have to be ourselves, and that would be a peaceful world, or not so many betrays and confusions, and a lot of heartbreaks will not come through. That's the lesson that I'm going to take away from this play. And only by the third, fourth reading, it struck me, even though I was reading it again and again. So there's so much of layers of depth in this particular play. Please enjoy. This is to celebrate just Rabindranath Tagore, and it's just to celebrate him. And kudos to the crew that I have, like we have. It's a huge task on me, like you know, which is the next one. I'm being given this task. I just told it very simply, very just casually, like, let us just start this task, and then it's always on me, and I'm always scared. But thank you, Hydro. And next February will be 1 year anniversary for me, exactly when I joined. Feb 14th was the day I joined in Hydro. So please, I cross fingers. I'm hoping we get a good play and we get maximum people to participate. Okay, and you know, we all become a part of this, and we not just stories and poems. Scripts are also a beautiful way of depiction. It improves our language, probably our intonation, or a lot of words are going on. Intonation, intonation. What was it? Intonation. Yes, thank you, Pratima. I have been leading with grade one students for quite a long time, so I'm forgetting everything. I'm now reading children literature, and suddenly coming to this takes me some time. We are learning, you know, just little pronouns he, she there. Okay, and thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. And yeah, over to Captain.
Right. Thank you so much, Neena. And she'd always try to downplay her contribution and her acting skills. So I keep saying this particular initiative will not go ahead without Neena's solid support and ideas that she gives. So, and with that, I just now looked up the calendar, Neena and Fatima. February 14th is a Monday, 2022, but 13th is a Sunday. So it will be a Valentine's Day Eve play, not a Valentine's Day play. So 13th February is the next rendezvous for us on online theater, and we can try to see how to better it in the new year. And not only celebrate Valentine's Day the next day, but also 1 year of Neena's membership in Hyderabad.
Dhruva just came in. He just popped in. Hello, villager. Where were you? Where did you go? We missed you. Where did you go, villager? Chitra is asking you, what happened?
I thought there was only 4 dialogues, so I went to other room. I wished the party is going on. So by the time I came, yeah.
All right. I before the villagers, then the God of Love becomes the villager, and then act right now. Once again, thank you so much, and it's a wrap here for the day session. Once again, lovely session today. I liked it.